If you use Adobe Lightroom, this video might save you hundreds of dollars a year. If you're tired of paying Adobe a monthly subscription to rent access to your own photo archive, this video is for you. I canceled my Adobe subscription months ago. When I start Lightroom Classic, this subscription window pops up. A lot of photographers think they can't go any further without paying. Not true. Close it, and you're in Lightroom for free. And here's the important part. The library module still works. This is huge because the hardest thing to replace in any photography workflow isn't photo editing, it's digital asset management. If you've been searching for Lightroom alternatives, you've probably seen the same advice over and over again. Just switch to Affinity, use GIMP, try darktable. And if you've tried any of those, you already know how that ends. Because the problem isn't that those tools are bad. The problem is that people are trying to replace the wrong part of Lightroom. And that's why these workflows keep failing. Let me say this clearly right up front. Affinity Photo is not a Lightroom replacement. It was never meant to be. Affinity is a Photoshop replacement. Lightroom is something else entirely. And once you understand that fact, a completely different and much better free workflow opens up, including one where you can stop paying Adobe without losing access to your Lightroom catalog. There are two versions of Lightroom, and which version you're using determines if you can use the free workflow that I'm about to explain. There's the cloud-based version of Lightroom with the LR icon. That version stores your photos on Adobe's servers. If you stop paying, you lose access to your images. That's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is Lightroom Classic, the desktop application with the LRC icon. Lightroom Classic stores your catalog and your photos locally on your own hard drive. And because of that, Adobe can't lock your photos away from you. They're already on your computer. This is the version that still works even after you cancel your subscription. Even without paying a dime, the library module still works. You can still import new photos, including RAW files. You can still export images in any format. You can review, cull, star rate, flag, keyword, and organize your entire archive, your life's work. And here's what most people miss entirely. The quick develop panel in the library module still works. That means you can still adjust exposure, white balance, and basic tone, even across a batch of photos at once. Even more surprising, your presets will still work. User presets, built-in presets, even adaptive presets, including sky adjustments, as long as they're applied as presets, not live editing tools. The book, slideshow, print, and even the web module are all fully functional. So what is locked? The map module and the develop module. For most photographers, losing the develop module is the deal breaker. They sigh and keep paying the ever-increasing monthly subscription fees to Adobe, or they try to replace Lightroom entirely with something like Affinity Photo. And that fails, because Affinity was never meant to replace Lightroom. It replaces Photoshop. But that's actually good news, because once you stop trying to replace Lightroom entirely and instead focus on replacing just the develop module, everything clicks into place. In late 2024, the photography landscape changed. Affinity was acquired by Canva, and as a result, Affinity Photo is now free to download and use. Not a trial, not a limited version, actually free. There are optional paid AI features if you use Canva Pro, but for professional photo editing, it's completely free. Instead of edit in Photoshop, we're going to build our own bridge from the free version of Lightroom to the free version of Affinity Photo. This bridge will replace the missing Develop module and Photoshop. Before we go any further, I want to reassure you, the next part sounds technical, but this is a one-time setup. It takes less than a minute to do, and once it's done, you never have to think about it again. First, start Lightroom Classic, and when the pop-up window appears, simply close it. Then, from the Library module, select the following: File, Auto Import Settings. For Watched folder, click Choose. Create a new folder called Affinity and click the Choose button. Under Destination, click Choose and select the same Affinity folder you just created. Then select Enable Auto Import. These steps have told Lightroom Classic to watch the Affinity folder we created and automatically import images that show up in there. Finally, we need to set up a new export preset that will replace the Edit in Photoshop option that's missing in the free version of Lightroom Classic. Click File, Export. In the right-hand panel, enter the details for your new export preset. Under Export Location, for Export To, select Specific Folder in the drop-down. For the folder, click Choose and select the Affinity folder you created earlier. Under File Settings, for Image Format, select TIFF. For color space, select ProPhoto RGB. For bit depth, select 16 bits per component. Then scroll down to the Post-Processing section. Change After Export to Open in Other Application, and then choose your copy of the Affinity app. Then, at the bottom of the preset panel, click the Add button. For preset name, enter Edit in Affinity. For folder, select New Folder. Create a new folder called Affinity and click Create. Now, whenever you need to edit a photo, you just right-click on it and select Export, and then select the new Edit in Affinity preset. Or you can select File, Export, and select the same Edit in Affinity preset. That photo opens instantly in a professional-grade pixel editor. You make your edits, hit Save, and the finished image updates right back into your Lightroom catalog. Seamless, professional, $0 a month. So when you put this all together, here's what you end up with: the best photo organizer in the world, paired with a powerful free photo editor, running legally without a subscription. One final tip: if you ever need Adobe's newest features for a specific project, free trials are still an option. Trial length typically ranges from 7 to 14 days, depending on your region. Here's a pro tip: the Creative Cloud Pro plan gives you 4,000 monthly generative credits. Since you're canceling before you're charged anyway, go with Pro and get access to all the AI features. It's completely legal to sign up, do your heavy lifting, and cancel before you're charged. Just don't rely on it as your main workflow. Use it strategically. Look, I've been using Lightroom since it was first released in beta over 20 years ago. I bought every perpetual license back when it came on CDs in a cardboard box. I genuinely love the software, and I was more than happy to pay the original monthly fee when the Creative Cloud version first launched. But over the last few years, Adobe has raised prices aggressively, and I don't believe photographers should be forced to rent access to their own work forever. The competitive landscape has changed. Using what I showed you here can easily save you hundreds of dollars a year. And more importantly, it lets you take back control. If this video helped you do that, hit like and subscribe so more photographers can find this workaround. I've created a free setup checklist in the description. Grab it, Set this up once and never worry about Adobe subscriptions ever again.